Alright guys, I want to make this video as quick as I can. Earlier today I was in the comment section of Dragnox running Hangouts, and I was talking with Scientist Sam over negligible senescence and longevity, and there were some complaints in the running Hangouts over me not entering into atheist Hangouts, or more specifically in Hangouts where I don't have any control over. Now this is obviously BS, because when I first got online, that's pretty much all I would do. I would only go into rooms that were dominated or controlled by atheists and evolutionists, where there would be 9 of them against me by myself. And that's one of the reasons why I learned from my mistakes, and I'm not doing that anymore, because you go watch, for example, the J.D. Keynes Hangouts or some of these other running Hangouts. Theists tend to get mistreated, and they're overtalked, overrun, bombarded by people from the sidelines, just wanting to throw assertions and throw the guy off track and not let him talk. It's just so much BS that goes on in these rooms. But if Sam really wants to have a discussion with me, how about a 2-on-2 debate? And the reason why I say this is because I've had one-on-one discussions, and as I said, I've been in rooms with 9 atheists against me by myself several times, but I've never had a 2-on-2 debate. And somebody, I believe in Nephilim Freeze Hangouts a while ago, actually recommended this to Nephilim Free and myself, that the two of us should have a discussion with two evolutionists from the other side that could offer a point. I think that's actually a good idea, because when you think about it, a 2-on-2 debate, there's a multitude of perspectives that can be offered in a structured way. So, for example, if there's questions regarding young Earth creationism that I'm not equipped to give an answer to, Nephilim Free can step in during the cross-examination and say, well, here's what I think about this. And likewise, myself being an older Earth creationist, there's a lot of different subset ideas that go with that may differ, and I can offer my points of view on that as well. And same thing in the reverse. I mean, not all evolutionists have the same exact views when it comes to evolutionary theory. So having I'm sorry, guys, Scientist Sam in the room with maybe Fiona Robertson, that would, we'd see the same thing there. If Sam can't think of something at the moment, maybe Fiona can offer her viewpoint on this. So we can have a 2-on-2 debate. It could be myself and Nephilim Free against yourself and Fiona Robertson. And if Fiona Robertson doesn't want to join the discussion, which I doubt she would, because she's cowardly, and you know how she loves to just criticize people after the debate is over instead of actually coming in and getting her feet dirty, and engaging, actually. It could be someone like Hawkeye Champ. Now, I don't want it to be someone like Steve, and I don't want it to be somebody like Dragnox, because I've talked to these guys so many different times in the past, and it's always just a waste of time. They do not offer any sort of intelligent points. It's usually always just claims and assertions without any evidence coming afterwards. And I really sincerely mean this. I mean, just look at the last discussion I had with Dragnox just the other day. I think it was like 2 days ago, on G-Man versus the World Hangouts. All he could do was offer assertions and opinions, and when push came to shove, the best that he could do was say, well, hey, some other guy has the evidence, CRISPR, why don't you leave the hangout with me and come to another hangout where there's a bunch of other atheists here so they can give you the answer, because he didn't have the answer then. Who was the other guy I mentioned? Steve. Yes, Steve does the same thing again and again. I mean, I've seen it with him and Nephilim Free. Nephilim asking him for over an hour, give me the evidence. All he did was continue making his claims. He wouldn't provide the evidence. He literally doesn't say anything beyond the assertions. He repeats it. When I talked to him in the first discussion that I had with him on my channel, I had to push him on the issue, and other people had to get involved, like the Idol Smasher, I believe, had to push him to give his evidence, and he couldn't give the evidence. The best that he could do afterwards was he doubled down, made a video talking about, well, he doesn't have to give evidence. The majority of scientists agree with him, so, blah, blah. That's what he's appealing to, the majority of scientists. He did the same thing on Bible Thumping Wingnuts channel. They were pressing him, and I think his best response was time travel. Really, that was his response, was time travel. He did the same thing with Arcane. He's done the same thing so many different times. That's one of the reasons why, when I was going to blow him off the last discussion, but I told people I would have the discussion with him. I actually mentioned it in G-Man's Hangout, and I think people were catching on to it because I was trying to have the discussion with him on my break so that I could just get it over with. And I think people saw that in the discussion I had with him as well, because I didn't. The beginning of the Hangouts, the beginning of the discussion, I basically just tried to get rid of my introduction, and then at the end, I left during the question and answers portion. So, I mean, don't want to have a discussion with him either. There's nothing to look forward to in those discussions. There never has been anything to look forward to with them. So if it's going to be somebody, maybe let it be someone like Hogtie. I don't know. If you want to have the discussion with me, send me a message through a private message, and we can get it going from there. That's it, guys. Take myself to bed.